Welcome to Football Roundup with your host, Randy Silver, where we break down the biggest sports stories from our favorite game, football daily. What's our agenda for today? We have 8 big key items to go over. 1. Spain FA leader resigns after the World Cup kiss. This may be ending the controversy for good. We'll dive into it. Germany fires their head coach Flick. We'll dive into his record, why he was fired, and the team. Paul Pogba reportedly failed a drug test. Ouch. How long will he be suspended for? Multiple years. We're going to dive into it. Man United's Antony abuse allegations. What that means for him. Playing for Brazil. Playing for Man U. Man United's Sancho update. And an international game scores and standings update. We're still in international break, so we'll dive into what happened this weekend. MLS is still playing, so the score and updates there. And any player transfers that may have happened. Let's dive into it for you. Luis Rubiales resigns as Spanish soccer president following an unwanted kiss with World Cup winner Jennifer Hermoso. This story may be coming to an end. The legal battle is still going to brew, but him in the news running Spain's FA will now be over. There was anger because he kissed Hermoso after the World Cup final where Spain won. You can see right here on the right, pecked in there. She says it was not consensual. He says it was. After a heavy press tour on him to resign, a lot of people from the soccer team resigned. A lot of people, players for the Spain soccer team, so they won't play until he resigns. Well, that has happened. He has been in the news. He's been having heavy pressure. Luis Rubiales resigns as Spanish soccer president following an unwanted kiss with World Cup winner Jennifer Hermoso. In his statement, he posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, today, I notified the interim president at 9:30 p.m., Mr. Pedro Rocha, that I have resigned as president of RFEF. I've also let him know that I've resigned my position in UEFA so that my vice presidency position can be filled. To insist on winning round, he continued in holding on to a position that won't contribute to anything positive, neither to the Federation nor Spanish football. I don't want to do that, among other things, because of powers that be will prevent my return. So he kind of saw the writing on the wall. He probably wasn't going to be allowed back. Why am I going to sit here and wait? The Royal Spanish Football Federation's quote confirms that Luis M. Robles has presented his resignation tonight. This has been made known to the federative entity through a letter to Pedro Rocha Junco. In addition, he also resigns from his position as vice president of UEFA. However, Rubiales vows to still clear his name against what he called excessive persecution. What was some of the feedback on him leaving? Spanish authorities were quick to react. The Spanish Minister of Equality, Irene Montero, reacted on X with 2 words. It's over. You know that Irene's going to be happy. Yolanda Diaz, Spain's second deputy prime minister, also wrote on X, the feminist country is advancing faster and faster. The transition and improvement of our lives is inevitable. We are with you, Jenny. We're with all women. In addition, hours after Rubiales' announcement, Hermoso appeared in Mexico at her club team. It was the first time she was back with CF Ponca Femenil after winning the World Cup, and she was honored. You can see right here, they have a whole banner for her. Very cool with the poncho hat on, with the World Cup winning trophy right there. She's got her World Cup medal around her neck. Great for her to get the recognition she deserves. And this should be the lasting image of the World Cup team, the women celebrating their championship, not this story. So hopefully the story's over. If more updates come up around the legal battle that is brewing, we'll let you know. But it's good that he's out and will not be leading the Spanish national team moving forward. Another person not leading their federation anymore is Hansi Flick. He's been fired as the German national team head coach. That means the German federation does not have a manager. They're hosting the Euros in 9 months. 9 months they don't host the Euros. And obviously Germans very proud soccer nation, football nation. They want to put out their best foot forward. They want to represent and they want to go deep in that tournament and win. Germany as a national team has not been playing well, so it's not a surprise. But this is not something they expected when they hired the Bayern Munich former coach to come in to be the coach of the German national team. Right now, Rudi Völler will be on the bench as interim coach. What are some analysis and some reactions? Former Man City player, currently at Barcelona, Jadon, Hansi Flick sacked. The atmosphere in the team is a mixture of sadness, frustration, disappointment. As a player, I have a feeling that I let Flick down. To be honest, he was always focused on, and full of energy, and fortunately, the team, we did not return what he was providing. Obviously, as a player, you usually look at yourself. The coach is fired. What are we doing wrong? A lot of the people playing for him were also on his team at Bayern Munich. So interesting, he could not get the best out of his players at the national level as he did on the club level. Didier Deschamps, his camaraderie, his peer, another manager. He's the manager of France. I feel sorry for Hansi Flick. He's someone I appreciate. When results are not there, we as coaches know what to expect. The last 3 tournaments were disappointing for Germany. The last friendlies didn't help this situation. There are high expectations around this team. This is not calling into question the quality of the German team and the individual potential of their players. They will have answers. So we will find out. What is that record? Why was he let go? Let's dive into it for you. So this is a 2023 record. Germany beat Peru in a friendly 2-0. Lost to Belgium in the friendly 3-2. Tied Ukraine 3-3 in a friendly. Beat Poland. They lost to Poland in the friendly 1-0. They lost to Colombia 2-0 in the friendly. And then here in another friendly, lost to Japan 4-1. So besides for basically getting one win, they have not won as a national team in 2023. Not a good record when you're trying to build the Euros. They don't have to go through Euro qualifications as the host nation to automatically get in. So something that they're looking for these friendlies to be the tune-up, and it's going the wrong way. Here's the record in 2022. Let's make note of they had friendlies going into the Nations League. At the Nations League, first game against Italy, they tied. They beat Italy. They lost to Hungary, and then they tied England. They lost in the World Cup to Japan to start. They tied Spain, and they beat Costa Rica. However, they did not move forward based off of goal record, so they didn't even get out of the group in the World Cup. In 2021, they played a total of 16 games. They won 11, drew 2, lost 3. Not a terrible record, but it's what you do in the big competitions. They did not win in the World Cup. Moving into the Euros, they're not playing well. In 2020, in the Nations League, they played 6 games, won 2, drew 3, lost 1. So their record has been more down than up as of late. If we talk about in the World Cup, they did not move forward. They tied Germany and not move forward because of goal differential. In the Euros in 2020, they did get out of their group stage, but lost to England 2-0 in the round of 16. So they have not done well in major tournaments. In the 2018 World Cup, they crashed out as well. So Germany on the national level has not been at the prominence as they were as when they won the World Cup in 2014. Hansi Flick as a manager of Germany, what was overall record? 12 wins, 7 draws, 6 losses. Not the record you expect from a German manager, not what Germany expects from their manager. At Munich, he had 70 wins, 8 draws, 8 losses. He almost had as many losses with the national team as he had in Munich altogether, which is just wild to think about when you look at the scale of games. His nail in the coffin was losing to Japan this past weekend, September 9th. They lost 4-1. As we mentioned earlier, they lost the World Cup to Japan 2-1. Japan's got Germany's number. Hansi Flick win rate at Munich was 81%. His win rate at the national team is 48%. Just, big difference. You would expect him to come in and be successful, and he's not. So who may come in and be the new German head coach? 1, Julian Nagelsmann, who was his successor at Bayern Munich. What has he achieved? He's won the Bundesliga. He won the German Cup. He won a German junior champion. He's attacking. He's aggressive. But he was fired from Munich because they were not performing. So what makes him going to be able to be good at the national team coach when many players from that Munich team are on the national team? Do they even want to have him again? Do they not? So it's going to be interesting to see if he gets this role, but he may fall into it as there's really nobody else. 2, Louis van Gaal, we know he's a good national team manager. He's coached the top clubs in the world. He has coached the top nations in the world. He did really well with the Dutch, bringing them back to glory in this past World Cup when they were falling down. However, he is 72. He's older. This is not a full-time solution, part-time. He's also had health issues. He's been dealing with some cancer as of late, so I'm not sure if he's feeling up to it or what his status is. You could bring back their old national team coach, Joachim Löw. He left because Germany peaked with him, and then they were falling down, and he's like, hey, it's time to go. I need to go off. You can see here that he's basically won achievements. He's a World Cup winner. Can he be a short-term solution to take him the Euros, and then they find another permanent solution moving into the next cycle of World Cup? What about Gordon Herbert? Do you know who this guy is? He just won the FIBA World Cup with Germany. Yes, a basketball coach. This is tongue-in-cheek. They come over to soccer. But he's a World Cup winner. in basketball. He's won the Euro World Cup with Germany. He's not going to get it, but tongue in cheek. Who Germany really wants? Jurgen Klopp. Currently at Liverpool, he would be the dream coach for the German national team. He will take it one day, but he's got unfinished business at Liverpool. I don't think he's going to leave early in mid of the season. They're not going to be able to wait for him until the season's over. He will be the coach one day of the German national team, but today is not the day. So that is your roundup on Hansi Flick getting fired from Germany. Comment your thoughts and let us know about it. Another breaking story that's come out today. Paul Pogba has tested positive for testosterone after the Juventus versus Udinese game on August 20th. Another story about Paul. He was at the peak, and it's just been downhill, injuries, and other issues that popped up we'll talk about. What has Juventus done because of this? They have provisionally suspended Paul Pogba for his anti-doping offense. The decision has been officially confirmed by Italy's National Anti-Doping Tribunal statement. If this is found to be true, he has a couple days to dispute this and try to prove his innocence. He can be suspended for multiple years. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. He has not played a lot because of injuries. He peaked at that World Cup in 2018 when France won. From there, but going back to Man U, Juventus has been downhill. He's now over 30 years old. We have probably seen the last of the best of Paul, especially if he cannot play for multiple years. Something else that came out as well the past couple days is Pogba talked about he must quit football over alleged blackmail plot. If you remember, this came out a couple of years ago. Pogba reported the incident to Turin prosecutors in July of last year after leaving Man U on free transfer to go back to Juventus. His brother, 30-year-old Matthias, was detained in September 2022 on suspicion of involvement in the alleged plot with Pogba. He claimed amounted to being extorted over $11 million. Pogba was released in December and denies the charges. If this is true, having your family member go against you is just massive. Paul Pogba talked about just how fame and money changes you and changes the people around you even more. So many people come to him for handouts, for money, ask, wish once, and it really made him just want to retire from football, retire from the public light, and move forward. We're happy he didn't. We're happy he got back on the field. But if it's true he got a positive test for PED, we will not see him for quite a while, and it'd be a shame that this is kind of how his career has ended after such a brilliant start at Manchester United. He played for Juventus, and now back to Juventus. You can see his records here, his playing time. So look here. If you look at 2012, 27 games, played 25 plus games basically until 2018. That was a World Cup when he won with France. And since then, the injury bug has really hurt him. Back at Man U in 2019, 2020, he did play decently. He played like 60% of the games, but he was not effective. When you look at his goals, 1 goal, 3 goal, 1 goal. His best season was 2018 with 13 goals with Man U. Before that, he was chipping in 6 to 10 goals a season, but you look at those assists, and then his numbers just went down dramatically. So it's a sad end we're seeing right now to what was such a promising career. Player of the year, player of the season, player of the continent type of career, his talent, and it's just really fallen off. So we wish him well mentally, physically, and hopefully we'll see what happens. We'll keep you updated. That is your Pogba update. Another player dealing with a serious situation is Antony of Manchester United. Antony is currently under police investigation. Why is he under investigation? Law enforcement are looking into allegations of domestic abuse made by his former girlfriend. These allegations include claims of a violent incident that allegedly took place in a Manchester hotel room on January 15th, resulting in a head injury to his former girlfriend, Gabrielle Cavillan, that necessitated medical treatment. Additionally, Cavillan alleges that she was punched in the chest, causing damage to a silicone breast implant, which subsequently required corrective surgery. So as we said, he is not on the Brazil squad. They left him out because the circumstances until he's cleared. He went on TV and said he's innocent. This is extortion. They'll prove it. So here's his response to allegations. He revealed that he has reached an agreement with Manchester United to take a leave of absence, a decision made jointly to avoid distracting his teammates and unnecessary controversy for the club until it's figured out. And again, he denied all allegations. This is a good move by Manchester United. He's not suspended, but when he came back, when the teammates came back to start playing for Manchester United again this weekend, all the questions would have been about Antony. It would have been distractions, not the right word, but it would have taken away from their day-to-day of getting ready for the game and their task at hand with Manchester United. Same with Brazil, why he's not there. We will continue to see how the story develops. If he's cleared and nothing is wrong, then he most likely will come back. If he did do wrong, then of course he will probably have press charges against him, legal matters, and his time at a football club will be coming to an end, especially with Manchester United. Just kind of with the whole situation that happened with Greenwood, they would probably would let him go and move forward with other avenues to play for Manchester United. One thing that is in favor of Antony was a leaked telephone transcript involving one of the alleged victims of Antony's abuse, suggesting that Antony did not commit any crimes. The transcript has references to exchange of money to fabricate false accusations against Antony. When more developments happen, come back here to Football Roundup and we'll let you know. We reported last week that Jadon Sancho was scapegoated in his eyes by his coach Erik ten Hag after ten Hag said in the post-Arsenal match training that Sancho was not practicing hard enough and deserved to be in the matchday squad. Sancho hit back and said, "That's not true. I don't know why you would say that. I'm working my hardest." Sancho is now set up to speak with his coach, ten Hag, once they're all back from the international break. We'll see if he's back in the squad, but ideally you would like to see him. They paid so much money for him. We're talking 80, 90 million pounds, and he's not performed to the price tag that he should have. Now we can move into match recaps for you and international breakdowns. We have a video that's popping up right now of USA versus Uzbekistan. That was international friendly. Go check it out. USA won that 3-0. USA play Oman on September 12th, 8:30 p.m. And we'll have that breakdown for you here in Football Roundup, so stay tuned for that. Let's go over international competitions. Euros. Scotland's leading the group with 15 points. Spain's in second with 6. Top two automatically move on. Third can go to a third place game where they can get qualification as well. Just crazy to see Scotland is crushing this group so much, especially over Spain. Norway's got Holland, Odegaard. So hopefully that they can get in the Euros. They deserve to be on the national stage. France is going to move forward in their group as the leaders. Netherlands has 9 points, tied with Greece, so that's neck and neck. Ireland with 3 points is most likely out of it. England's at top of their group with 13 points. Ukraine's second with 7. They're looking good. Italy with 4th place. They just lost their coach Mancini. That is tough for them. Croatia, 10 points. Turkey, 10 points. Looking good. Armenia right there, 7 points. Still in the hunt. Latvia, 1 point out. Wales with 5. Has an outside shot. Albania is leading their group. Look at that. 10 points for them. Czech Republic with 8. Moldova with 8. Poland with 6. Can Lewandowski get Poland into the qualification? We'll find out. But Albania has to be the surprise there. Belgium and Austria both have 10 points, leading their groups. Third is Sweden. Estonia and Azerbaijan are gone. Group G, Hungary with 10. Serbia with 10. Montenegro with 8. And then Bulgaria and Lithuania 2 apiece. Montenegro, can they squeeze their way in? Slovenia and Denmark both have 13 points. Finland have 12. Kazakhstan have 12. This could go any way. Stay looking at Group H. We'll keep you updated. Group I, Switzerland with 11. Romania with 9. Israel with 8. Any way there, one win can knock you up or down. Group J, Portugal sitting pretty with 18 points. Slovakia with 13. Luxembourg with 10. This could come down to Slovakia and Luxembourg. Let's go over some of the scores that have happened the past couple days. So today so far, let's get it updated. Croatia beat Armenia 1-0. Other games you can see coming up right now. Portugal, Ronaldo's not playing Luxembourg. He owns Luxembourg. He has 10 plus goals against them. He got multiple yellow cards, cannot play by accumulation. Here are the games for tomorrow. After tomorrow, everyone will go back basically to their respective domestic teams. Big game here, Sweden, Austria. Italy, Ukraine will be a big game too. When we look at games from the weekend, Belgium got a big win against Azerbaijan. Sweden with a 5-0 win. Italy, North Macedonia tied. And then here are the rest of the scores from the weekend. All right, let's move on to the African Cup of Nations. They have 6 qualification games before they get to their final, what you would expect, the African Cup of Nations final. So they're about done here, so you know who's moving forward. Nigeria and Guinea-Bissau from Group A. Group B, Faso and Cape Verde. Group C, Nambia and Cameroon are moving forward. Group D, Egypt and Ghana. Group E, Ghana and Angola. Group F, Algeria and Tanzania. Group G, Mali and Gambia. Group H, Zambia, Ivory Coast. Group I, Republic of Congo and Mauritania. Group J, Tunisia and Equatorial Guinea. Group K, South Africa, Morocco, and shout out to Morocco. Hope everyone's okay after the earthquake or getting the supplies. Please be careful. Please be okay. And then Senegal and Mozambique are moving forward. For CONMEBOL World Cup qualification, you can see who just started. You got Brazil leading with goal differential +4. Then Uruguay, Argentina, Colombia, Paraguay, Peru, Venezuela, Chile, Bolivia, Ecuador. They basically all played one game, so this could go any way. There's a lot more games to happen. You can see who's playing so far. Excuse me. Where the scores were at. Argentina behind Messi's free kick goal win. Colombia gets a good win. Uruguay over Chile 3-1. Brazil, big win. Neymar was crowned the highest scorer ever in Brazilian history in that game. Games for tomorrow. You can see all the games right here. Big game. Chile, Colombia, Argentina, Bolivia is a decent game. Ecuador, Uruguay will be a big game. Peru, Brazil should be a fun game too. Then lastly, we got Transfer Center and MLS. All European transfers are done, so these people happening are either free agents or they're going to the Middle East where you can still go. There shouldn't be any crazy names on here, or else it would be in the news. We're just showing you what's happening. So again, you don't see anything being massive players here. All those would have been done at September 1st. A lot of these people are going to the Middle East, excuse me. Lastly, MLS. MLS is still going, so let's give you a table update. Here's your Eastern Conference standings. FC Cincinnati is still in first place with 57 points. Here's the standings. Top 9 make the playoffs. DC United is in that last spot with 34 points. 32, 31, 30, 29, 28. So you basically have 5 teams all within 2-3 games of DC United. Could go any way. If a couple team gets hot, a couple teams fall down, it could go either way. Toronto FC is most likely probably out 22 points. For the West Coast, St. Louis, 48 points, while Seattle Sanders in second with 41. FC Dallas, 34 points in last place for playoffs. And then you see here, LA Galaxy, 30 points, only a game and a half, 2 games back. Rapids argue to be out. However, super close for that final playoff spot. FC Cincinnati is running away with the Supporters Shield with the most wins in the regular season, meaning most points. When we look at the matches from the weekend, big win for Miami this past weekend, 3-2 over Kansas City. They need every point they can get. They're without Messi, of course. He's with Argentina. Alba is still playing there at left back. Was able to help them get this victory. Timbers, 2-0 win over LAFC. LAFC now 2 games skid after losing to Miami. They need to come back from this. Galaxy tied 2-2. And then you can see that next week we got a full slate of the games coming. Miami should be back for this game against Atlanta United. They already beat Atlanta United earlier in the season in the Leagues Cup. Can they go ahead and do this again when it counts for the MLS? Thank you for watching Football Roundup on Randy Silver TV, going over the weekend, September 11th, of all the news out there. We will be back for you midweek on anything that happens midweek, breaking news-wise, game-wise, and of course, next weekend we will be back and we'll have all the domestic games broken down for you. Please subscribe so you get notified. We also have Hoops Roundup, MMA Roundup, American Football Roundup, and of course, Football Roundup right here. Thank you for watching. Please comment your thoughts. Out.